All right, what up, Internet? It's the Pop Geek Podcast, episode 26. And if you notice, there's quite a gap between 25 and 26.
Large gap.
Yeah.
That's because this is season 2.
That's right.
Podcast.
See, you did 25 episodes in season 1 and now 26. So.
Yep.
But yeah, it's after about 6 months off, we've finally all got back into the same room together. I think for the most part, I mean, me and Adam see each other like 5 times a week or whatever.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, the hiatus was mainly my fault, guys. Like I
Yes.
said before, when we left, I was going to the fire academy, and I'm officially done. I passed all my tests, passed everything I need to do. Just gotta wait for graduation next week, and I'm a firefighter.
That's right. Eric's a firefighter. He also just became a dad.
That too.
Yeah. And for those Filipino viewers out there, he's a firefighter. Firefighter. So, yeah. So.
But yeah, was it 1 month ago?
Yeah, about a month ago,
Yeah.
we had our first boy. His name's Sean, and yeah, it's been a joy.
Cool. It's really cool to see him go through it because Adam's got 3 kids. I got 2 kids. My kid just turned 1. So I just went back through all the baby stuff. Mm-hmm. And now we're finally getting into some of the funner stuff. Like he's still pre-verbal, so you can't tell him stuff. And he's a destructive maniac, but yeah, it's kind of cool. And we're all in like different places with it, which is why, you know, in a way, this is a Pop Geek Dad podcast now, and that kind of
dads.
Yeah, that kind of brings me to my first like question, and this is more of a debate thing, which is not normally what we do. We usually stick to news and Star Wars shit and whatever else. But like as a dad now, what do you want your kids to kind of like from your fandom, from your we do geek stuff or whatever? What do you want to pass on to them?
Oh, totally, it's going to be Power Rangers and Ninja Turtles and Star Wars. Like those are the main 3 that I loved and always it will cherish for the rest of my life. And I want to not only just show him those characters and everything. I want to kind of build nostalgia into him. Yeah. So for like Ninja Turtles, I'm not going to start him off at the most recent Nickelodeon cartoons. I'm going to make him watch the 80s cartoons and work his way up. Yeah. You know, the Star Wars movies, I'm going to have him watch it how I watched it. Watch the classic trilogy first, then the new ones, and then, you know, go in sequence how I learned it. Yeah.
Well, it's easier for you guys because you guys have boys.
We have boys.
I have 3 girls, and you know, between My Little Pony and everything else that they watch, and they're really into like Minecraft now more than anything, but. Yeah. But, yeah, we don't really have much in common.
Really? You don't have one that's just, like, into what you're into? Maybe wants to play guitar or something? I don't know.
Well, 2 of them are going to... Well, one of them has been playing violin for about a year now. Well, maybe a year. I don't know. Something like that. But.
For me, what's funny is my son is 5, so I've seen... Like, I've tried to push certain things and be like, hey, here you go. And certain things he just didn't grasp. He didn't gravitate towards. But certain things he did. Like, I mean, he is a Minecraft kid. Like, I never played Minecraft until he got it. But he loves video games. And he will watch video game videos about the video games that he plays. Right. He'll do that. He loves Plants vs. Zombies, so we play a lot of that at the house.
Well, you're playing that every day anyway.
Yeah, well, I'm doing it for him because I come home, he's like, did you get a new plant? Did you get a new plant? And I'm like, yes. And I spent 2 hours at work, you know, playing Plants vs. Zombies. Shh. Yeah. That's the other thing, too, is me and Adam are now directors at the TV station, and we have a lot of downtime. Yeah. Like, when we're not on air, there's really nothing else for you to do because our job is to direct television. Yeah. So when you're not doing that, we literally, like, sit in the office and surf the internet and do whatever.
Well, not really an office.
Well, it's
we sit in the control room.
And it's 40 degrees in there. And it's, So. But, but like he really gravitated towards video games, which I was really into. You know, what I find interesting, and we'll get to this a little bit later if we talk about No Man's Sky, is like he loves Minecraft. Like, to me, Minecraft is frustrating in a way. Yeah. Oh, because if I don't have a goal in a game, I don't know what to do with myself. Yeah. So, like, when we play Minecraft, he gets on me all the time, like, why do you always want to build something? Why do we always got to do this? I'm like, because I don't know what we're doing. Like, I got to have a thing and a goal.
Isn't that what you do in Minecraft? You build stuff?
You build stuff. But he doesn't like building stuff.
What does he like doing?
Around and, like,
just running around and flying.
Kill a goat or a sheep. Goat. And then he wants to cook it. And then he wants to eat it. And I'm like, you don't need energy right now. Your character's fine. Like, don't do that. He's like, well, I want to do that.
Well, I can.
Yeah, he could do anything, and that's what's kind of interesting about the game is it doesn't have a point. There is no end game, although there's an Ender Dragon and there's the theory of Herobrine.
Oh yeah, he's like Satan.
Yeah, and somebody said he was a glitch. Somebody said he was some angry programmer wrote him into the game, and he'll like come kill your character and wipe out all your stuff.
Like you have like the Nether, which is essentially hell.
Yeah, which is really weird in like a kid's game about building crap. You can go to hell and go get some stuff if you really need
Minecraft
to.
was that deep.
It is. It's really weird.
It's pretty crazy.
And like my son loves sandbox games, Disney Infinity, same thing. He doesn't care that there's a mission. He'll just run around the castle and get on the bikes and run around and do stuff. It's a different way of gaming, because when we came up, it was like Mario.
Go from left to right.
Mario goes he goes left to right. I save a princess at the end. That's what I'm supposed to do.
Now, just to press pause on this, in November. Yeah. I know I'm buying one. I know you're buying one. I'm sure you're buying one.
The Nintendo Mini? That's happening, man.
It's going to be awesome.
Yes. I can't wait.
I know you guys are going to be buying them too.
Yeah.
My only complaint about it, though, is the cable for the controller. It's not very long.
Really? I didn't know.
But it's like FireWire though, isn't it, or something like that? It looked like a FireWire connector.
No, it's the original like.
Oh God!
It looks like FireWire, but it's like the original Nintendo like port.
Is it really?
Yeah.
So
I'm sure you can get an extension.
I would hope so because
even the controllers themselves are only $10.
Yeah,
which is awesome.
Yeah.
So
unless you're gonna be putting it on like your desk at your work, where you could be on a computer screen like right here.
Yeah, you're that close.
Oh no, I have a 65-inch TV and I got to sit like 10 feet at least.
Yeah, so you're not gonna be able to. You have to sit like 3 feet away from your TV with the controller.
Yeah, they're doing that.
Well, I guess if you got a really long HDMI cable.
Yeah, and then you could have it on the floor.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, the unit itself is like an Apple TV, essentially.
Because it's just a hard drive in the box of a... Because what's funny is it took this long to get to this. Yeah. I mean, they have the ROM systems and stuff like that, but they take cartridges.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why?
And they have emulators also. Yeah, like if you have an Xbox,
every
you can...
8-bit game could fit on one.
Oh yeah.
Oh, totally.
Half a terabyte drive. Like you could have every single Nintendo in the
easily
in
less
the
than that.
Yeah, because
you could probably do it with like 100 gigs.
Yeah. Wouldn't it? I don't know. I don't think it has this, but wouldn't it have been? It would have been cool if it had built-in Wi-Fi where you could buy more games.
And just download it. It'd just be a
because I think right now it only comes with 30 games. And you can't expand it.
Yeah. They might have.
It's just the 30 they pick. Yeah,
they might have like a second generation, but it does come with some pretty cool games.
It does.
It has Mega Man 2. I mean,
did they skip 1 just to go to 2? Because 2 is
the
better.
2 is awesome, but there was like 10 Mega Mans though. I mean, but you got Excite Bike. You got all 3 of the Super Mario Brothers games. You have the original Mario Brothers without the Super, which is basically like Donkey Kong. You have Donkey Kong.
Oh, perfect.
There's a lot of games in there. I think Kid Icarus was on there.
I'm interested in Zelda because I never finished it.
Yeah,
so I want
Zelda's on there. I have Zelda on my Wii.
Oh,
the original one.
Oh yeah, that's right. You can do that because I have the original Mario on Wii and I Punch Out on Wii.
Yeah.
But yeah, like getting back to it, that's the kind of stuff my son gravitated towards. He really likes Ninja Turtles, but won't watch the show. It is the weirdest thing. He has all the toys. He plays with the guys all the time. Won't watch it.
Has he ever watched a movie or a cartoon or anything?
He watched the live action movie.
Oh, okay.
Which he actually liked, which I'm kind of surprised because that should have scared the crap out of him. But, but like that, he's into Star Wars. But what's funny is he like has the differentiation in his mind of 3 different Star Wars to him, which is Clone Wars, the cartoon show.
Okay, yeah.
Which kind of got him into it first. But then I bought him the guys. He's got the little tiny Play School guys, which are not like the nice, toys.
They're fatter.
They're little, they're like chubby versions of Luke Skywalker and Han Solo and all that stuff. And he loves those. And then there's the Force Awakens stuff, which he has on the Infinity, but he refers to it as Star Wars Force Awakens. Like, it's so separate from the rest of it. It's like Star Wars, the one with Luke, and then Star Wars Force Awakens. It's really weird. He makes this, like, differentiation line, and then the cartoon show is kind of on
Well,
its
to
own.
be fair, Luke was only in it for like 30 seconds.
Yeah. True, yeah. He never saw it. Like, he's seen parts of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've shown him some of it, but he's never sat all the way through it.
Oh, okay.
And what's funny to that end about that movie is I liked it when I first saw it. I actually like it more the more I watch it. Mm-hmm. The movie gets better. It's like you start to see little things and glimpses to the future and stuff like that. We'll talk about Rogue One here in a little bit. But yeah, like those are the things I wanted to pass on to my kids, but then there's stuff that just fell flat. You know, I bought him a bunch of like G.I. Joe guys. He doesn't care.
Yeah, I know no matter what I do, if I want to push him in a certain route, it's going to be ultimately up to him if he takes it or not.
Well, and eventually, I mean, I want him to play hockey, and getting him on the ice is murder. It's horrible. He doesn't like skating because he doesn't like falling. And I'm like, that's kind of how this is going to go. Yeah. Like, until you learn how to do one, it's not going to get any better. So, but that's been an interesting process. And the other thing I want him to appreciate, he likes Batman, and I'm a big Batman fan, but he also likes all the other ones too. Like, the more random the guy's power, the more he likes them. So he likes Wolverine, and he likes Superman, and all those guys and stuff like that. But like, I've always been a super Batman fan, but that'll come later when he's old enough to read The Dark Knight, and I get to hand him that, and that'll be kind of cool.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
But yeah. The other thing we wanted to talk about is pat ourselves on the back for the Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
What the hell? Like, it was 6 months ago we did a podcast, and it was like the third time we mentioned Pokemon Go. We're like, this is kind of neat.
Yeah.
This might be kind of cool.
Who knew it was going to explode into this massive just epidemic or
I had
pandemic?
no clue. I also, like, people came out of the woodwork with like, oh my God, I watch Pokemon every day. And I'm like, what?
We have a
like it existed in my world, but I was just like, kids watch that show.
I have a fellow recruit at my academy. He's this big guy, like 6'5", like maybe 250 pounds, like big guy. Like he always has a mean face on him. It's just, we don't want to mess with him. We say he eats babies because he's so big. And when Pokemon Go came out, he goes, "Oh yeah, I caught this, I caught that." I'm like, you were into Pokemon? Like, he's naming out Pokemon that I didn't even know about, and like, okay.
and what's amazing about it is people who have no relation to the game.
No.
My wife loves it. She knows nothing about Pokemon. She knows which ones are rare and which ones aren't, and walking around the neighborhood and finding them is the greatest. She never battles them. She doesn't do anything with them.
I gotta
she just
say,
catches the crap out of them.
Comic-Con was an amazing spot.
Oh, I'm sure they had to load that to death.
Oh yeah, I caught like over 100 Pokemon and
just at Comic-Con.
Just at Comic-Con, yeah, just walking up and down, yeah.
Were they people dressed up, or were they actual? No,
I'll throw it up beach ball at them.
Yeah, just grabbing some idiot in the hallway.
I've only played it a couple of times, but I'm level 5, so I can actually like go to gyms and stuff. Right? But I mean, it's great. I never watched Pokemon. I mean, I don't know what any of them. I know who Pikachu is.
Everyone knows Pikachu.
And I mean, who doesn't?
I know Squirtle for some reason.
I think Squirtle was like my first one that I got.
Is that really?
But I think it's great. I think it's a good concept, and like, it gets kids out of the house instead of sitting there playing Minecraft. They can actually be active.
Go outside,
and it could actually be a good thing.
It's almost the same thing like back when Dance Dance Revolution first came out.
Yeah.
People were like,
totally,
because of that, because they had it in their house, they're just dancing for hours and hours.
Yeah. I'm on the DDR diet.
Yeah. It's the same thing. They're getting out and walking.
Some of the fun stuff was too the interviews with some of the people who like clearly hadn't been outside in a while, and you're like, yeah, you need to start walking around a little bit more, bro. Like, it's like, I walked 5 miles a day. I'm like, that's good. You just keep going. Like,
I gotta say, though, it is really strange, though, when you go to parks now or just at Pokestops. You see tons of people just
staring at their phones.
Yeah, staring at the phones. Like, I got one.
Yeah.
I was like,
my son and
there's a playground over there, guys. Why don't you go play while you wait for a Pokemon?
I saw an iPhone case that's like specifically designed for Pokemon Go. It's got like a sort of a book type of shape, and it's got a little thing that flips over your screen so you can perfectly throw your Pokeball.
That's hilarious.
Right at the Pokemon.
Also, like, way to use the remember the paper ball game?
Yeah,
like those original phone games.
Oh yeah,
it's like the same deal. No, but me and my son went out one night, and we're like, hey, let's go Pokemon hunting. It'll be fun. And we walked around. Yeah, not the only ones. Like, There was a bunch of people, like moms and kids. Kids got the phone, and they're just...
If you go to any park nowadays, I mean, they're everywhere.
Our library is like a giant Pokestop near my house. It's like, there's like raining purple things. I don't know what that was.
The lures?
Yeah. But yeah, like, I just have to... That was just amazing. That, it was something that would interest me, and because I was not a fan of the show, I never watched it or something. Then I'm like, this... the use of the phone as the what is it called? I keep wanting to call it altered reality. That's not what I'm saying. Augmented reality is huge, and where this is going to go is going to be cool, and where it's going to go with VR is going to be even cooler. Because I love the augmented version of it. It's so cool to see something existing in the world for real, and then it's also in your phone, and it's a game, and it's whatever. I can't wait to see what else is going to come. And I think it's going to be awesome, yeah.
You know what I think would be a cool concept? And I'm not sure that I should say it because if it has...
steal it from me.
Yeah, somebody's going to steal it from me. So. But combining VR with your existing camera on your phone so you can walk out, you can walk anywhere.
So you don't run into stuff?
Exactly, so you don't run into stuff.
No, I think that's coming.
The hologlasses from Microsoft.
Oh, Google, huh?
The hologlasses? The HoloLens?
Pretty much does that.
Okay.
It's coming.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, the technology is definitely there. It's just somebody's got to perfect it.
Yeah. I mean, you see the thing with VR is you got to have a pretty substantial processing to go on, and also to render real time into your phone. It'd be pretty difficult. Yeah. But at the same time, we're close. We are that close. But also, like, how much are you going to live in your phone at this point, you know? Because Google Glass initially has that adaptation problem where people weren't into it to wear that, and then you have your world and then the augmented world happening at the same time. But it may just be a matter of time and a matter of the age groups or something. So Rogue One just dropped its trailer last was it yesterday? It was Friday? Thursday
during the
Olympics. I think technically it was the first one. A trailer was the first one. A teaser.
First one was a teaser. This
was
a full-on
trailer. Full trailer.
Yeah.
The cool stuff about it is, one, everyone is dirty. Like, this is a weird, dirty Star Wars film, and I think I really like it. I like what it looks like so far.
Have you ever seen a shower in Star Wars?
No, that is true.
Well, they had the healing tank.
That's true. That weird.
How often do you think they use those? I mean, Luke was inside. What was that giant thing called where he had to keep warm?
The Tauntaun?
Tauntaun, yeah.
Well, I mean, did you ever see him shower after that?
No, but this is definitely a grittier film. I mean, clearly it's not made by George Lucas, so it has nothing to do with him. The other thing is it's a standalone film, and what's weird is I keep having to tell people that.
Yeah.
That they're like, so it's a prequel. I'm like, yeah, but like the way I would break up Star Wars and what you're going to see in the future of Star Wars and all of the content that's going to come from this, and what's so cool is that Rogue One is really the kicking off point, because the storyline of the Skywalker family is Star Wars. This is a Star Wars story that exists in that world. Doesn't really have anything to do with Luke Skywalker. It has to do with Anakin Skywalker, because Darth Vader's going to be in the film, which is the best part of the trailer, is him breathing at the end. You see him looking at the Death Star plans. And I was listening to another show on YouTube, which is, I'm going to say his name wrong, is Black Nerd, I think his name is. And he said the exact right thing, which is, I want Darth Vader to kick ass throughout this film.
Yes.
Like, this cannot be walking around menacingly. This has to be full on why everyone is afraid of Darth Vader. This is the reason why.
We haven't seen that story. We've heard the legend, we've heard the myths, but we've never actually seen him actually do anything.
Yeah. You see him angry, going, whoa!
He's going to be a complete asshole. It's going to be awesome.
Yes. Because it's got to be ruthless. And he is the weapon of the Imperial side. And that's what it should be. They said that there's rumors that you're seeing battlefield scenes and stuff where Vader is actually out there. And it'd be kind of cool, too, because, like, in the prequels, you get to see what Jedi forces do in a military situation, which is ridiculous because they're so overpowered compared to an average soldier or whatever.
Yeah.
But when most of the Jedi are gone, well, almost all of them, and the remainder is the one evil Jedi, like, him on a battlefield has to be just catastrophic almost, you know? So that's really what I'm looking forward to seeing. Also, on top of that, like I said, this is a different style of film, and it should be. Because the other ones had to look like a Lucasfilm.
The one thing that this movie kind of reminds me of another movie and sets it apart from other Star Wars movies, it's kind of like almost like a heist movie.
Yes.
Where you're collecting your characters, you're getting the bounty hunter, you're getting the sharpshooter, you're getting the comedic guy. You know, you're building this team up to go steal these plans,
right?
And then to
and what I've noticed too in the trailer, a lot of them are wearing the Imperial badges.
I did notice that
in the scenes. So that means they're already deep in the Imperial whatever. They're already infiltrated and are existing behind the enemy lines in order that they're all going to come together to make sure, like, you know, the series of doors and the codes are added so that the actual stealing of the plans can take place.
You know, in episode 7, they mentioned something about how the kids were indoctrinated to be stormtroopers.
Yeah.
I wonder if they'll tie that somehow into this with these rogue...
That could be.
With these rogue teams. Leaving the stormtroopers, the Empire, and becoming rogues.
Sure, and that could be part of it because they touched on it in the cartoon series.
Yeah, so maybe this is how they lead up to being like, oh, now we need to start indoctrinating these stormtroopers so that way we don't make them, they don't turn on us again in the future.
Well, that's true too.
I think that'd be a really cool.
That'd be really cool. I mean, and the where it exists in the storyline is interesting too. Because it's pre the movie, it is technically a prequel, but it's not a Skywalker prequel. So it's not the story of Luke and whatever.
And that's kind of confusing to me too, because they introduced new vehicles.
They did. I thought that was weird.
Like the Walker is a new type of Walker. Yeah. It's not an AT.
It's ATCT.
Yeah, so that's
a different Walker.
And then the U-Wing. It's like, where was that during the...
I don't know.
The originals.
Yeah, because they did do some of that in the prequels too, where you saw clearly George was getting a little out of control, which we all know he did. But
it was probably like the EV-1. You know, it was a cool concept, but it just completely flopped.
It could be, yeah.
It's like, this design we thought it was cool, but it just didn't work.
It was the design.
So that's why you never saw it again.
Yeah. Well, like in the prequels, you see like a pre-X-Wing that kind of looks like an X-Wing, but also all the technology that you see within the cockpit is way advanced compared to the old movies because they made them in the 70s. Like they had to use what they could use. So, I mean, that is a little weird that they did that. I wonder how much influence that was on maybe toy decisions or Battlefront, because Battlefront exists in that world where Rogue One actually falls right in the Battlefront timeline, which is bizarre because the Battlefront timeline is kind of goofy because it's like it's pre-Jedi, I think, but then Sullust is on there, so it's kind of hard. I forget where the Battlefield world lives, but Rogue One will be added as a DLC.
Yeah.
Or
luckily Battlefield the game doesn't have a campaign, so it doesn't really tie into a story wise. It's just a battle simulator pretty much. So they could just
all of the tech you're seeing though can be brought into the game, which I know a lot of people were excited about because you kind of get pigeonholed with what guns they used in the other films.
Yeah. And
this way you see like the Death Troopers have their own set of stuff, which is really cool, and I like the Death Troopers too.
Now, did anybody notice this in the trailer that the Death Star was upside down?
Upside down?
Yeah.
I didn't see that. I didn't notice that.
You know how the big
yeah, it's normally like up here, you know.
Yeah.
Well, like down here
in the northern hemisphere.
Okay. Yeah, when you see the trailer and he arrives at the planet Jedha, whatever.
Yeah.
It's not up here, it's down below.
Oh.
So I don't know if that's
isn't that like its primary canon too, though?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's the primary
maybe
canon.
It just turns it. I mean, if it's a circular thing, who knows what's up, you know?
And theoretically, there's no real gravity around it. You know? The only gravity is like within it. So
that's true.
I just thought it was an interesting choice to put that in the trailer to see it that way.
Because it's iconic in your head one way. Yeah. Because it always was that one way. But you don't know if that was just a limitation of filmmaking.
True.
So
yeah, I just thought it was really interesting to see it upside down.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
The two other things that you just touched on, there's 2 new planets that we know of that will be seen in the film. which are Jedha, which sounds like Jedi, and it's supposed to, because apparently that is the Force user planet. So, again, they use the term Force user and not the Jedi planet, because that would be weird if you had a Jedi planet.
Yeah, so Donnie Yen's character would be more of a Jedi user, or
like
Force user.
Force user.
It's like the Star Wars version of Krypton.
Yeah. Sort of. There's a bunch of superhumans hanging around. Although they weren't super, I guess, on Krypton. Yeah. But then there's that, and then there's Scarif, which will be the one that's added to the DLC. It looks kind of cool. There's palm trees, and the cool, like, massive ground battle looks unreal. And they use a rocket launcher in the which is like, they probably need a rocket launcher. Yeah, laser guns are great, but you really need to blow up something very large.
We've seen those giant laser cannons, but to see an actual rocket launcher, like, oh, that's new.
And I think that adds to the grime of the film. And you see every time Jen Erso is on camera, with the exception of right when she's in talking to Mon Mothma, she is filthy. And Donnie Yen is filthy all the time. And what's his name? Forrest Whitaker is dirty all the time too. Yeah. So I like it because it's the underbelly of a story we know. So Star Wars. And Star Wars is cleanish as hell. It's everything's white and black and gray when you're on the ships. But this is the real people of that world. And I think this is going to lead more into what the sequel stuff will be.
Well, to be fair, Tatooine was pretty dirty.
Stuff. It was, but they were never dirty.
Yeah.
There's literally dust blowing around, and his clothes were dead white.
Yeah.
Speaking of sequels and people going forward to play those roles, there is one person that we just found out that won't be continued on as an actor.
Who's that?
It's Kenny Baker.
Oh, yeah, Kenny Baker. Yeah.
He just passed away at the age of 83. Yeah. And if those of you who don't know, Kenny Baker actually played R2-D2.
Yeah, there was actually a little person inside the suit that made it move. Because, they probably couldn't build. But he always played him, which was weird. Because so even when you saw Force Awakens, there was a 80-some-odd-year-old man in that costume. And they said, I think one time, it was in the old films, they left him in there one time.
Yeah, they forgot about
him. And they
him.
Went to lunch, and he had to stay in that stupid thing in the desert. But also, Kenny Baker...
It lasted 83 years.
I know, yeah. Kenny Baker has been in tons of movies. If you look him up, you'll recognize him.
He was in The Goonies, Time Bandits, Flash Gordon.
Yep. Anytime they needed, he's kind of a rough-looking little guy, but it's got to be like him and the guy who played Willow.
Yeah.
He's in literally everything. Yeah.
Well, there's what's his name?
It's so funny. I remember him from Willow, and he's been in a million other things, and Star Wars. He's in every Star Wars film.
Yeah. What's Mini-Me's name again?
Oh, Vern Troyer.
Vern. Yeah.
Yeah, those three are always. You see them everywhere.
Yeah. It's gonna be tough to get work, man. All right, but that's about it for the Pop Geek podcast. That's our first one in the second season.
We're back episode.
We're back, yeah. So we tried to keep it short, and we didn't. But we will do more investigative and fun stuff in the future, and hopefully we're going to make this more of a weekly thing. We're going to play it by ear for a little bit, but our schedules are starting to sync again.
Yes.
And we don't have to do this at the butt crack of dawn anymore,
yeah.
which was nice.
Kind of brutal.
You always saw us with coffee is because we shot this thing at 7 in the morning.
You still
or whatever.
See me with coffee. So. Well, actually, I'm drinking a chai tea latte. So
nice.
All right. Well, that about does it. So we will see you guys next time.
All right.
See you guys.
Welcome to season 2.